I am including my audio in a broadcast. Now I'm checking my audio. Hold, please. My favorite thing about Never's mic is that it's just picking up his crunching.
Munch, 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 munch.
Now you muted.
Is that better?
Give me a quick check from both of you.
Words, 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 words.
Munch, 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 munch.
Perfect.
Can you hear me munching from back here?
A little?
Really? I'm like
Yeah.
a solid 2 feet away from my mic.
Well, it's got good gain, I suppose.
Okay, well, I'm done with that now. It was just a little bags of trail mix.
You just need a little snacky snack. Okay. To the
Neat is
Snugpod.
Neat is a strong word.
And gallery to Canva. For the pre-show tree show. Let's use this one.
Okay, stop.
Stop what?
You know what? You stopped it.
Are you saying that you want me to drop the beat?
Tree show.
Would you want me to put the beat in the box?
Tree show.
Cease the rhythmic motion noises you were making.
Lore Seekers. Elder Scrolls Online. The scroll is mine.
Okay.
Is it? You do have an Elder Scroll.
I do, I'm wearing it right now.
You know, that would be really cool, an Elder Scroll backpack.
You're gonna go blind.
Dude, that would be amazing. Can you please pitch that to them when you're in Amsterdam?
You don't have one?
I mean, I could
do
make
you have
one. I have enough foam, leftover foam, but I
what's
need to
happening
finish my
to your
staff
table?
first.
What are you doing to your table, Never?
Sorry.
Okay. ESO fan. Would you say you could make one?
Yeah?
Do it. Elder Scrolls. Okay. Hey, Nordic Spartan. First time chatter, but I recognize you, of course. You finally made it. Welcome. Okay. Our really tiny notes are up because there was literally nothing from this week. Pull these up.
It's okay, I can literally rant for like 10 minutes about costume making. I kid you not.
Well, the Lore Master's archive's pretty long too, so.
Okay, so we're fine. That doesn't matter
Yeah,
then.
we have plenty of things to discuss. Do it! Come on in! Do you still have a spot for people to sit, Gwen?
Oh, there's 2 chairs over there.
Yeah!
There's
Nordic's
2
gonna
Felonisti
come in.
chairs.
Nordic might come in. The only thing that I would ask, Nordic, if you come in, is just make sure you don't have, like, any weird, sounds or any... Like, I don't know what personality you have on, but just so we don't get any extraneous, like, background stuff. And actually, that doesn't even really matter. We don't even really care, but... just so it doesn't get too crazy.
Wow, I
Okay.
just dropped a whole lot of like solid information and my mic was muted.
Boom. Love that for you.
Wow. Oh well, I guess y'all missed out.
Darn.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, look! A visitor! Yay! Look at that live studio audience we have. Incredible.
Awesome.
I love
Yeah,
it so
I
much.
need to redo how the Snugpod's set up again, which I will do next week. I don't have anything in my inventory
Hello.
except for the drapes. I'm leaving the drapes up there until they change color.
I love it.
It's gonna come in. It's just gonna be a different color one day.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
I love it. Look at that. We got JTK sitting over there. He is. I love it. Okay. I turned on all of our titles so that people could see who is over there. Okay, perfect.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I am sound checked and ready whenever you all are.
Okay,
Shooting.
you ready, Gwen? Let's do it. Hey, everybody. It's a Snugpod Cast. Here we are, once again, another week. And we're going to talk ESO stuff. I've got me and two other friends and a guest. And I've got Gone Crazy back soon. What's up?
Nothing much. Happy to be here, hanging out with y'all.
Hooray. And Gwen the Bard.
Hello.
And who'd you say was joining us? I don't have my...
JTK is hanging out over in the corner.
Here we go. Little pan around there so you can see if you're watching. And
Look at that.
Hello.
We got a live studio. Oh, with a lovely wave. Got a nice little
Because
studio,
reminder, we still have spaces as a live studio audience.
That's right. We don't even have a sign that says applause or anything.
I'll pull out the glowy crystals again. We'll make it work.
Oh my gosh, I would laugh so hard.
Well, remember when we did the Extra Life thing? We could easily pull out the glowy crystals and make an applause sign.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing.
Well, I'm not. I hear that. Gwen, I'm sorry. I know. I understand you're not feeling well, and you've got some word vomit.
I do. I could totally just word vomit ridiculous amounts of everything ESO related I've been doing since last Sunday, and none of it has been in game.
Well, would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, I would. Okay. So I've been doing this costume thing for a competition because for some reason I somehow got accepted, and I was really tired last week.
The reason is because you're awesome.
But I am very honored to be included in the competition. I did not say that. I am very honored, especially considering the photo I submitted. And so I am definitely also going to send them a photo once I have my makeup practices done, because my makeup is supposed to arrive on the 15th. Because between the fact I am making my own prosthetics and one of my sisters is loading me one of their color palettes, I forgot you need actual things for makeup. There's layers and stuff you're supposed to use, because I'm allergic to basically everything on the planet, so I don't get makeup very often because it's not practical for me. So I'm supposed to be getting that on 15th, and then we can start practicing making myself look like the character, and that will be fun. Taking it off is what I'm mostly worried about.
I hear that's the fun part.
Yeah, taking it off. Which is why I'm making multiple versions of the prosthetics. But my fingers are destroyed because I've been sewing through leather all day. We were listening to the Lore Tavern earlier, and that so much leather. I have a full outfit. There's shirt, there's pants. I only have one glove. I still need to do the second glove, but there's an outfit. There's shirt, there's pants, there's shoes, and I'm adding all of the leathery bits with fake leather. And the sewing there takes forever. It takes forever. Now remember, the costume as it is now, I didn't start till January, and originally it wasn't supposed to be done till September. But because I am locked in as this character, this is the character that's entering the contest. My sister did agree to wear the Athelia one, so we'll be wearing both of those together on the second day. But it's costuming is interesting, and white glue does not act the same as Mod Podge. Let me tell you that right now. White glue does not act the same as Mod Podge. Don't treat it like Mod Podge. I had to completely redo my pauldron because when I went to go put in the shading scrub brush shading, it ended up bringing up the entire glue layer. And thankfully I only did that, sealed the pauldron, didn't seal everything else, because normally I do it all in steps. So I only had to go back and fix the pauldron again. But that's going well. I haven't started the staff yet. In my Amulet of Kings, I need to... because remember, I'm still working on the Amulet of Kings, because it's like, oh, well, you weren't able to get one when they were in the store. Why don't you make your own? I am. So I am making my own. And that the mold is done. As of an hour ago, I could put resin into it now because I had to let it cure for 24 hours before putting resin into it. So I'll probably do that tonight or in the morning, and then we'll see if it actually works. Crossing our fingers and praying it works. Because it's the first 2-part mold I've made, so nervous. But yeah, this is exciting. And terrifying.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
And I think
gonna be amazing.
I'm not going to win anything. I know I'm not going to win anything, but I'm really excited to be in a room with a bunch of people that actually recognize what I'm dressed as. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm so excited for you.
And next year I'm probably not going to go to the event in the US. I don't think it's going to be in the cards, but if it is in the cards, I already have decided I want to make a Rigurt costume.
Amazing.
Rigurt or Bastion, we'll see how it goes. If I can even go.
We should go as ourselves. The Snugpod.
The Snugpod?
That would be great.
Except
like,
we would
seriously,
have a bit of work to do, never.
Rigurt would be a fun thing, because it's like the Nord Cultural Exchange.
That would be amazing.
It'd be so fun. But anyway. Yeah, there's my 2 minutes of ranting about cosplay.
Would it be acceptable if we went as ourselves if I just got like a lion mask and painted red stripes across the nose?
Sure.
That's totally acceptable.
Honestly, I'd be on board if you just showed up with some sort of weird mane on. You could go as the mane.
Our Kirito cosplay, her Chimera, Queen Chimera, it's a face mask, and then the ears are just kind of sewn into the hood. It's not a whole Khajiit head. So there are different ways you can go about it, just ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
you could just show up in cat ears and we'd all believe you.
borrow some of my wife's cat ears.
I would not recommend a full furry suit for the middle of the summer. You would die.
No.
That, and they're expensive to make. One, they're expensive to make, and two, fur will get everywhere and you'll never get rid of it. I once made a costume for someone, and don't do it. Just learn from my mistakes. Don't do it.
I am totally not that committed. I might just get a shirt and have my name put on it.
Wow. Wow.
Just have Snugpod shirts made, and each one of us have our name on the back. See how many people go, hey, I've heard you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, since I've locked this in, so many things have been neglected. Haven't been doing no more murder hobos. Haven't changed the decor in the Snugpod.
It's okay. You've got a couple weeks before the DLC drops on console.
What would we even change the decor to in here for that? Like,
crystally mirrory stuff.
Because I was just thinking spring themed.
Or the dungeons are Malakath and Maelstrom. So that would be a little bit weird in here. Yeah, you could just go with spring, honestly.
Because we have the anniversary event coming up and the Jesters Festival. And...
yeah, we're gonna get a new cake soon.
Yep.
I love cake.
Tea party. We can have a tea party theme in here.
Yeah, tea party
That's
theme.
Can we go to
We'll do a
Boston?
tea party theme.
Let's just get an entire, just fill the whole thing with sweet rolls.
That's a lot of sweet rolls.
All kinds of different sweet items for the anniversary.
We can do a tea party theme. That's what we'll do.
Amazing.
Sweet.
Okay. So what have you been up to this week?
Me or never?
Either of you.
I've been up to nothing really in game. I kind of had a somewhat big week outside of, well, it wasn't really a whole week, but it's been building up to that. I don't know, is that too personal to share?
That's up to you. I think it's pretty great, but if you don't want to share it, you don't have to.
Yeah, so we've had a kid staying with us for over a year that we finalized adoption on Friday. So, yeah.
There was
so-
much celebrating. We already
Sweet
said
rolls.
congratulations when you told us earlier, but there was much celebrating. We're all very
Sweet
happy
rolls
for
all
you.
around. Sweet rolls all around.
If it wasn't late and people were sleeping in school tomorrow and work and whatnot, I'd celebrate more at the moment. But, but thank you. Yeah. So we did a show last week, right? Yes, we did.
Yes.
So I already talked about what was up before that. I'm trying to get my timeline. I'm still on, trying to get my head wrapped around what day it is. So I don't even know if I think I've logged in most every day this week to grab my logins. I did end up getting the Orsinium thing worked out. They added the extra day and put that where it should have been, and it was already claimed.
Yay.
Awesome.
So got that worked out. So I don't have to worry about that. Other than that, that's really been about it. I've just been hanging out in Fargrave, not actually, playing Fargrave. Just when I log in, that's where I'm at, because I was trying to do that whole go there to fix the problem thing that everybody kept telling me to do, and that's where I came from to get here. So yeah, that's been about it for me. Other than that, just real life stuff.
Wait.
How about you? Crazy.
We did a live show for Lore Seekers the other day, so look for that to hit podcast stuff soon. Finished up White Strakes, because that was the event that just finished recently. Managed to get most of the stuff, I would say, like most of the drop stuff from that, so I got lucky on that. I'm still missing some stuff on PlayStation, but that's okay. I'm not like a FOMO person too bad, unless it's something I like really, really want, so I'm all good. But something fun that did happen to me on the last day of White Strakes, this was so cool, because I feel like this is stuff that you hear about, but you never really get to experience yourself. So I decided to go into the Imperial City really quick to grab my last set of tickets, and I went into one of the servers that's like the extra servers, because it had low pop. And I'm running around and I come across one of the wandering bosses, and I was like, okay. And I am hidden because I didn't want to get ganked by anybody, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I'll go do the quest, and if it's still there, then maybe I'll come back and work on it or whatever. So I'm like going to do the quest, and then I look, and there is a blue that starts fighting it, and they're totally by themselves. And I was like, I wonder if I just start killing it with them, if they'll be like, nice, and we can kill this together and both loot it and just like get out of here. And sure enough, I was very particular about which skills I used, and I was very, very careful to not accidentally hit the person. And I basically just did like a zillion light attacks and a few heavy attacks and stuff. And while we were fighting, another person came up that was a red. And literally all of us, one from each faction, fought this boss. As soon as it went down, all of us looted and just blocked and like backed away from each other. Like nobody wanted to hit each other. It was the last morning of the event. I think everybody was just like, I just want to get my stuff and go. I don't know if those were other PvEers and I just happened to come across them and they were like scared to death that I was going to kill them. Like, I don't know what was going on, but It was super duper fun because we got to take down a boss together, and then everybody just kind of went like, "Okay, you good? I'm good. You good? You sure you're good?" And then just kind of like went their own separate ways. The one person like hopped on their mount and just took off as fast as they could. The other person kind of just stood there and like backed away a little bit, and then I just stealthed and left because I was like, I'm not hanging around here to get ganked by somebody. So everybody got their Telvar, and everybody got their drops, and I was able to finish my quest in that little area, and yeah, that was it. It was a pretty fun morning, that last morning, for me anyway. I must have gotten lucky in where I was at. There was a lot of people running around. Nobody was really ganking each other. They were just kind of like, people were doing their thing. I think people were letting people get their tickets done, which was quite awesome, actually. So, I didn't go into Cyrodiil. The one server I went into, well, I did go, but the one server I went into was almost completely yellow, so it was like no threat. It was just like, go turn in your quest in Gropsford and leave. So yeah, I had a pretty good end of White Strakes there. Gwen and I ran through the sewers the one time, which I think I talked about last week. And other than that, yeah, it's just been like editing. I've had real life stuff going on because I've been on vacation and everybody's been sick because that's how it is when you have a kid in school. And yeah, that's about it.
Fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff. All right. Well, how about news? Or olds?
How about news?
We have a DLC coming soon.
It's coming real soon for people on PC, but it's coming on March 26th for us. Yeah.
Yep.
We gotta let everybody beta test it for us.
Yeah. So you PC folks out there, you go break the game and find all of the bugs, so that in 2 weeks we get the one that don't have that. I don't want to like go into one of these new dungeons and sit down in a chair and all of my saved up crowns disappear or something.
Oh my gosh! Don't even put that in the universe, please. Why would you even say such a thing? Why would you say that?
Because I'm a terrible person. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got the Scions of Ethelia. I'm just kidding. Preview to look at. The Bedlam Vale is one of the dungeons, right?
Yeah, Bedlam Vale is the one that is the like Maelstrom themed ish one.
Bedlam Vale. That's fun to say.
I guess I should have asked Gwen, because I know I didn't even think about this. I know you don't like any like sort of spoilers. Is this too spoilery for you, Gwen?
I'm going to the like live thing where they're going to be talking about the new chapter and stuff. No, you're good.
Okay. I mean, that's true, but you know, I don't know. Just always make sure.
Wait. I thought this was a new dungeon.
It is.
It says delve.
Yeah, these.
What?
It says
No,
delve.
it says delve into the demiplane.
Right, delve.
Yeah, delve means to
right,
like...
delve.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
You crack yourself up, don't you?
I do. Sometimes.
This cat.
Yeah.
It's like if we had a glass of water on the edge of this boat, he would knock it off.
Probably pick it up and throw it on you.
Yeah, you're right.
There is a glass of some sort of liquid on the edge of the boat, actually. It's right in front of you.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh. Don't tell him. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about Bedlam Vale, shall we?
We shall. Let's dungeon into this.
Oh my gosh.
Who's reading this?
It doesn't matter at this point.
Let's see. I'll read it.
Okay.
I never read these things.
You do it. You do the thing.
We can read all about the fruity hen.
Oh no.
Tell me again how that's supposed to be pronounced.
Fanuit hen.
Fanuit hen. Okay.
Correct.
All right. I'll try not to butcher it too much. Delve into the demiplane of Maelstrom and defend an ancient vault in Bedlam Vale, coming soon with the Scions of Athelia Dungeon DLC, arriving March 11th, which is tomorrow for PC and Mac, and March 26th, which is not tomorrow for Xbox and PlayStation consoles. Bedlam Vale is one of 2 all-new dungeons with the upcoming Scions of Athelia Dungeon DLC pack. At launch, you can take on this latest challenge via ESO Plus membership or purchase it from the in-game Crown store. The Maelstrom Marauders, a cult known as the Blind Path, has invaded the Bedlam Vale, and Fanui Tin needs you and your allies' assistance in protecting a powerful relic, an extension of the Demi-Prince's realm. This mysterious vault serves a very different purpose from that of the Maelstrom Arena, first introduced as part of the Orsinium DLC. Think of it as a sort of storehouse where Fanuit Hen keeps treasures, memories, and all the unused materials of creation that do not make an appearance in the arenas, explains Helena what? Walkhouse? One of ESO's writer-designers. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. It isn't visited very frequently, so Fanui Hen's interest is piqued when a cult known as the Blind Path start rooting around in there, and they need capable warriors to help them stop the cult from getting what they want. If you ventured into the Maelstrom Arena in the past, when exploring this new dungeon, you'll have a chance to discover more about this peculiar part of Oblivion and its master. Maelstrom's arenas are heavily curated by Fanuit Hen to show off challengers' combat skills and adaptability, says Walkhouse. But Bedlam Vale shows a side of its master that is less planned out. You'll be able to see just from the ground alone that Bedlam Vale is a little haphazard. While Fanuit Hen is just as charismatic and combat-focused as ever, this space and situation explores the relationship with Tutor Reparius and the Barons who move like this. In addition to discovering more about Maelstrom and Fanuit Hen, this dungeon also introduces elements that lead into the upcoming Gold Road chapter. For anyone who watched the global reveal, some of the monsters in Bedlam Vale should look familiar, says Walkhouse. They have this glassy, almost mirror-like appearance that may help you draw some connections from the ongoing story to Blind Path's ultimate goals. When designing Bedlam Vale, the team wanted to create a dungeon environment that feels familiar, dangerous, and perplexing. A lot of inspiration is drawn from Maelstrom Arena, says Shane Slama, ESO's senior encounter designer. Players familiar with the icy water in the Rink of Frozen Blood or the venomous ruins in the Vault of Umbrage will recognize more of Fanuit Hen's handiwork in Bedlam Vale. That said, most of the zone is still under construction with enormous floating rocks you'll need to carefully navigate across, explains Slama. If you look down, you're able to see glimpses of the raw materials that Fanuit Hen uses to mold and shape this demiplane. While the vault itself is under construction, the foes and your party must face within are all too ready to challenge any would-be interlopers. Fanuit Hen is quite proud of their arenas, and they decided to dedicate a section of Bedlam Vale to their barons known as the Hall of Barons. This is where familiar foes from Maelstrom Arena like Maxis the Mini and the Champion of Atrocity are lurking, but unlike in their previous appearance, you'll be battling these two simultaneously, and you'll be glad you have a party to back you up. If that wasn't enough, you'll also need to contend with the Blind Path and the Dark Shard monstrosity that is puppeteering these enemies from the past, warns Slama. Make sure your venom grenade throwing arm is warmed up. Between the invading cultist and the Bedlam Vale's native inhabitants, you'll have your hands full when venturing into this dungeon. This is especially so when confronting the Blind. The Blind leads the invasion into Bedlam Vale and forges a siege weapon designed to break through the strongest of barriers. The fight against them requires you to pay close attention to the waves of destruction that flow across the ground and run or dodge toward the openings you see. It's a cool feature of the boss battle because it delivers as a fun gameplay element that forces you to dance and weave while also being a great visual element to the story. It shows the Blind's relentless assault on Fanuit Hen's demiplane in service of Athelia. Much like the Maelstrom Arena, Bedlam Vale hosts great rewards for those willing to brave its challenges. Should you defeat the Blind Path and survive, you will discover new item sets, collectibles, achievements, and more. This includes, but isn't limited to, the Echenir Examination Memento earned by completing the dungeon, or the Artifact Hunter Amber Die earned by completing both Bedlam Vale and Oathsworn Pit's side content. These rewards also include a new monster mask and 3 unique item sets, 1 light, medium, and heavy, that introduce powerful new ways to equip your adventurers. For example, the Blind Path Induction light set boosts your damage shields and healing depending on your distance from your targets. For the healer who adapts to any situation, Blind Path Induction will fit you like a glove, says Nadav Pechtold, one of ESO's combat designers. While keeping distance from your allies, they will receive stronger healings from you, but while close, you will both benefit from tougher damage shields. Stay close to prevent damage and fall back to save your team from the brink. Step once more into the realm of Maelstrom and help the multiplier of motions known repel the invading cultist and protect a mysterious relic. What you experience in the new Bedlam Vale dungeon signals the adventures to come when the Gold Road chapter arrives this June. Are you excited to return to this chaotic aspect of Oblivion? You can let them know through X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Sweet.
Nice reading, cat.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm really excited, actually, to see this dungeon. Like, really
Me too.
excited.
I'm excited to play through that storyline with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's something in there. Are we going to be throwing? Are they going to have us throwing grenades?
I got a feeling.
Have your venom grenade arm ready?
Yeah, seems like that might be a mechanic. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Yep. Same like the hint or the tell there of, what does it say? Dance and weave. Where is it? Pay close attention to the waves of destruction that flow across the ground and run or dodge towards the openings you see.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of the couple dungeons we've had with like the walls, like the tides in the one dungeon, the waves that come over, or the like ghost wall in the one dungeon that you have to dodge through the hole on. It'd be kind of cool.
So I'm looking at that item set that it mentions. Increases damage shields by 13% to targets 15 meters or closer, and healing done by 13% to targets more than 15 away. Just to give you the details on that one it was describing. You were about to say?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. This is an interesting healer set.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that it has sort of 2 functions that you can kind of be mindful of. And the other bonuses are to max magicka and healing done. So, let's see. You both benefit from damage shields.
Mm-hmm. This one could be a fun one to try in Infinite Archive. Like, that would be cool. Because there may be times when you're further away. Like if you're running a healer and a DPS, or a healer, like a hybrid, you know? Could be kind of cool, because if you stay away from each other a little bit, it'll give you both the increase to the healing done as well as the damage shields. So if you can kind of hang out like right in that cusp, you know? Could be cool. Definitely will be most useful to people that are good at like setup, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Like people that do good at, you know, setting up their field or kind of paying attention to where everybody else is.
Right. Yeah, I'm not.
Pretty cool.
You know, when it lists off how many meters you are from somebody, I'm like, I can't tell that.
I mean, that can be a little tricky at first, but also, I think, I mean, what are your heals typically, Gwen? Do you know, like, how big the range is? She's like, let me go into my skills and check.
About 28 meters.
Yeah, so see...
Radius 8 meters. I use a lot of AoE heals.
Yeah. So... I feel like a lot of people who play ranged stuff kind of can tell, you know?
Right. Yeah.
No, I look at it and I gauge. You can't tell 28 meters on a screen.
No, exactly.
Well, I'm American. I can't really tell meters too much either.
I mean, you can
on the regular anyway, but yeah.
You could train yourself to be able to know those distances using markers on the map and stuff. I'm this far away from my marker, and then just going, okay, well, clearly that's where that's at. So that's the distance, and your eyes you'd be able to estimate it if you kind of trained yourself in that. I just don't. But I'm pretty much a charge forward and hit everything in the face kind of person most of the time anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason you like to tank.
Yep, and even DPS, I tend to, want to be more melee. Because I like hitting things with swords.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, talking about, some of the visual things in the dungeon, with some of those mechanics and stuff. I think it's going to be cool to check this out. And having to fight 2 Maelstrom bosses at once? Is that what I heard? Is that what it said? Were those both bosses?
That's what it said.
I mean, they're going to be tuned accordingly, I'm sure, but...
Yeah, I watched the preview for the one that's kind of Maelstromy, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to
it. So people, in order to practice for Maelstrom, are just going to solo this dungeon?
I mean, maybe, but...
It is.
Why wouldn't they just do Maelstrom where they can do them one at a time?
Right. There are differences.
Yes. It's constructed from similar pieces, but not necessarily
the
same.
I just meant there being the boss fight.
I also kind of shivered a little when it called out the frozen rink and the
freaking giant.
Yeah, the other one. I was like, those are the 2 worst ones.
The only one I hate is the giant. Everything else was easy.
Yeah.
It's just that giant was annoying.
Yep. I was like, ugh. Oh, man. Oh, man. Fun times. Fun times.
Speaking of fun times, the next thing on our news list is you have 2 more days to get tickets if you want to go to Amsterdam. Last day is the 12th.
Yep. Last day is the 12th. There's still time, it says.
There's still time. And you get shiny things. You get an Alliance badge and lanyard set, a duffel bag, an exclusive styled t-shirt for that event, a 10-year collector coin, a coloring book, Honor Bantam Guar plush, and a in-game Golden Honor code.
He's so cute. I hope that he has a little pot on his head. It's so cute. It's so cute.
It's Honor. Of course he's going to have a pot on his head. That's what separates him from other Bantam Guar.
It's Cadwell's. He better. They finally announced, too, who's going to be there, which is pretty cool. I don't have that pulled up. I should have.
For the studio, they haven't announced any voice actors yet, but hear me out. 500%, I'm guessing. Who does Cadwell? John Cleese?
Oh, that would be amazing.
500%, because he's already doing the con circuit this year. He's going to be guesting at some cons this spring, so it just makes sense.
That would be awesome.
That's my guess. That's not official, but this is very, very making sense.
I think it's pretty great that Pete Hines is coming. So he's the former head of publishing at Bethesda. So That's good stuff there. And that's gonna be he's gonna be doing the origins thing, like the origins of Elder Scrolls Online. So that'd be pretty cool. I'm excited to have you report back on some of these like talks that they're doing. So they've actually also released like the actual presentation and panels. So
the schedule.
Yeah, like a schedule. There's a 10th anniversary keynote, traveling down the Gold Road, origins of the Elder Scrolls Online, the voice actor Q&A, which we loved last year. So I'm super excited. I hope it'll be good this year too.
I plan on sitting in on everything. I am definitely interested in the medieval battles. Please let me actually hit someone this time. Like, I was so disappointed Finn and I are going up to the swords, and it's like, oh, it's just a demonstration. In the program it said sword fighting, and I was so disappointed.
There is also a design deep dive about creating a zone, and then of course the cosplay contest,
which starts at noon. That I know stuff starts at least at noon that day because my email said it starts at noon. So
that's great.
There's that.
Tabletop to Tamriel. That'll be a really great one because the former lore master Lawrence Schick is gonna be there.
I'm looking forward to all of these panels. And then the ESO Family Feud. If anyone wants to prepare for that, if you're just like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's so much lore. Go back and look at like the old videos, the old streams and stuff. In the old times they've done Q&As for like game show things, because a lot of those questions are probably going to be reused.
Yeah.
Or something similar, so that gives you an idea of which topics to like even get your mindset around for that.
I would also say prepare for like maybe with some like Colovian, Alessian, Pelennor, White Strake,
Aliad, Valenwood, Felenesky. Because like that's all the stuff that we know is coming up in Gold Road. We're gonna have Valenwood stuff. We're gonna have Aliad stuff. It's gonna be Skinguard as Colovian.
Yeah, check it out. Other things that they've announced, there are, of course, the gameplay sessions where you get to play. Don't be like me and get locked out. Developer roundtable, leatherworking station, calligraphy station, alchemy workshop, medieval battle, like Gwen mentioned, axe throwing, some live music also provided by Matthew Heafy from Trivium. And then catered food and drink and more. So that's all stuff that has been released and is included in your ticket if you can get one, or if you're planning on going to Amsterdam. Pretty great. Which brings us to the Lore Masters Archive. Is anyone there?
Yes.
It was so quiet.
I was muted.
Nervous.
Sorry. I keep bumping my table, so I'm muted.
I was like, is anyone else
I will leave that to you two, because I have to head out soon. I can read the intro, I guess, and then I can disappear. Alright. So we have Lore Masters Archive, Malekith and Maelstrom. For Lore Masters Archive, Signs of Avilia. Madam Wim, Daedric entrepreneur and resident of Hargrave, shares her knowledge of the Demi-Prince Fanuit Hen and the Daedric Prince Malekith in a new Lore Masters Archive. Hello, sweet mortals. You have the pleasure of reading words put to parchment by Madam Wim, proprietor of the incomparable House of Whims. We trade in eccentricities, Capricornus, and opportunity from Fargrave, the celestial palanquin crossroads of the Daedric realms. Perhaps you have walked through our doors and sampled our wares. If not, we always welcome fresh faces and hungry minds. You are most welcome at Madam Wim's. I must tell you, I am unaccustomed to this type of correspondence, but Gabrielle Linnell and I had a delightful conversation over a cup of tea from her homeland. Bargains were struck, eyebrows were raised, and I have been properly incentivized to answer questions submitted by you, the readers of this missive. The focus of these questions being on two distinctly different topics, I shall take each in turn, beginning, I believe, with the master of the Maelstrom Arena.
Ever, would you like to read the things and I'll read Madam Wim?
Would I
Since
like
Gwen
to...
has to go. You would read what's bolded.
Read the bold. Bold.
So I'll read into it first.
There we go.
So,
okay.
It says, I should preface my answers, darlings, and ask your forbearance. Thanks to Miss Bennell, I've had a chance to read over the answers provided by Fanuid Hen, responding to questions from a previous entry in this lecture series. I'm but a simple information broker operating from the decaying ruin of a dead realm. Some of what I understand to be true clashes with the colorful words submitted by Fanuid Hen and their tutor. Forewarned is forearmed, as the saying goes.
To Madam Wim, Fanuit Hen claims that they are the offspring of the Daedric prince Boethia. I have my doubts. Would your web of secrets know with whom Boethia had relations to create the demi-prince of Maelstrom? Best regards, Count Riemann IV of Cyrodiil.
Appearances can be deceiving, dear Count. The truth of Daedric life can be confusing even for those of us with an origin in Creatia. You sense some measure of the truth, but Arbus is far, far stranger than mortals can imagine. With apologies to the Master of Maelstrom, I don't believe they were entirely truthful when they claimed to be a scion of Boethia. I once traded the title and hereditary rights for a small chalet in Rivenspire to a minor noble in House Tamrith. I received, in exchange, a positively tawdry interpretation of the Dark Elf canonical texts. This included, of course, extensive writings on the lessons of Vivec. These interpretations, along with other conversation I've had over the centuries, lead me to believe that Fanuid Hen's origins are far older and far odder than they let on. If you do not believe me, reread the first lesson of Vivec. Even in these texts you have access to in the mortal realm, you may find it curious that the reference made to Boethia prefaces Fanuid Hen's arrival in the tale by several stanzas, almost as if that reference and the appearance of the demi-prince are wholly unrelated. I want to note it's clear, whatever Fanuid Hen's origins, Boethia supports their claim of scionship. That is not the kind of claim you make as repeatedly as the demi-prince has, and with such full-throated enthusiasm, if you're not sure how Boethia feels about you. In fact, if you look back through recorded history, you'll find several instances of Daedric princes adopting beings as scions, even if the Creatia of their own realm was not involved. By the same token, of course, we Daedra do occasionally change loyalties, though, as has been said endlessly by authors far more boring than I, it is not in a Daedra's nature to change. I find myself digressing. The word Daedra in most mortal tongues translates as not of us or not our ancestors, or even just the others. Curious how broad a brush that paints, is it not?
My dear Madam Wim, an associate of mine once posted that Fanuit Hen's name was a dragon shout, but that was before meeting the entity in question. Does their name have any special meaning? And do come and visit me in the Isle sometime. I've been perfecting a lovely alocasia blend. Eteristanwe.
What a considerate offer. At times we've been known to serve alocasia jam on buttered black bread at the House of Whims, a sweet and delicious treat that occasionally leaves one feeling rather lightheaded and floaty. In Daedric clients, anyway. Mortals, I believe, are driven to the brink of insanity. But I'm distracted from your actual question, which starts with such a humorous origin. As you no doubt told your friend, the draconic language and their art of tongues have little to do with Fanuit Hen's most concise name. They love to cite themselves as the demi-prince of Maelstrom, or multiplier of motions known, or, after a fashion, the numerous names of their barons. But it is a very good question. Fanuit Hen, what does it mean? Where does it come from? I don't believe the demi-prince originated from Boethia, but let's cast our eye in that direction to gain some insights here. If I was a being of liminal power, an adopted scion who desired respectability in association with my Daedric parent, where might I turn? Readers, I've traded whole libraries of study on the Daedric princes to and fro across Arbus, and by volume I can assure you no culture wrote more about Boethia than the Chimer. The Daedra-worshipping expatriates of old Aldmeris sought solace in the dictates of Boethia, and to this day you'll see remnants of their language in some of the most common Boethian chants and prayers. Consider, if you would, the name Fanuit Hen through the language of the Chimer Ni Dunmer. If I were to name myself in a manner that would ingratiate me with the chosen people of my adoptive father, what might I call myself to ensure a warm welcome?
To esteemed Madam Wim, I write with a question of pure academic interest and nothing more. I assure you, we know that Fanuit Hen is a demi-prince, but herein lies the question. What makes a demi-prince a demi-prince? From purely academic interest and no uncertainties regarding my own bloodline. Taryn Velas.
Darling Taryn, these kinds of questions and concerns are dealt with at the House of Whims every day. If you want a real answer to your question, perhaps there's a bargain to be struck in private? In public, I'm happy to discuss the vagaries of demi-princedom. They are, for lack of a better term, a passing fancy on the part of a Daedric prince or lord. It's amusing from my point of view that mortals can enter into an act of creation accidentally. Not so a demi-prince, whether the prince in question is conjoining with a mortal, a Daedra, or something else entirely. I spoke at length with a consultant from Apocrypha once on the subject, and they described a demi-prince as a unique conjoining of purest creatia and something more. In the case of a prince or lord and a mortal, that something more is of course the illustrious soul you short-lived beings are so fond of talking about. In other cases it gets more esoteric and frankly more confusing to discuss. Suffice it to say, demi-princes are around because of their Daedric parents wants them to be. That's likely why the number known to mortals is so small. Even among our own kind, the type of power and prestige such parentage can attract can be a double-edged blade. Ask yourself, is having a blisteringly powerful being as a progenitor really something you'd want?
To the beautiful Madam Wim, Fanuit Hen seems like they care about the barons and misses them, but they can't possibly care in the same sense that a mortal would care about a loved one, could they? I was under the impression that Daedra are not capable of this. Any insights? Sincerely, a wanderer.
Like the layers of a slag eel pie, I see so much to pick at and savor in this question. Wanderer. Thank you. To take the second layer first, divest yourself in the idea Daedra are incapable of anything, darling. So often I find your short lifespans push you to extremes as a survival strategy. That beast is colored green and almost killed me, therefore all green-hued beasts are dangerous. That kind of thinking may serve you well on Nirn, but exceptions to the rule abound across the realms. As a general rule, yes, Daedra are what we are. Our princes form us from creation and set us on our path, and thus ever does our nature set at the time of our making dictate our path. But while we Daedra are unchangeable, that does not mean we are unchanging. We are thinking, living beings, and what is not the nature of life but some measure of change? I don't mean to boast, darlings, but I myself am an excellent example. Madam Wim, entrepreneurial Mazkin, has worn other names and appearances many times over the centuries, and while I'm a deep disappointment to my progenitor prince, I find my life and choices deeply satisfying. Back to the first layer of your question regarding Fanuit Hen's capacity to care for the barons. The emotions of Daedra are not for more mortal minds to understand, but that does not mean that we are unfeeling monsters. We simply experience life and the Arbus differently than you do. In the case of the demi-prince and their barons, that's no doubt an especially challenging arrangement for you to understand. The barons are Fanuit Hen, and the demi-prince is them. The motions known they mention in their title are the barons themselves, personified within the demi-prince and given internal and eventually external life. So when the demi-prince jokes about dicing with Morehouse, or dueling the Hinged Ones, or any other half-truths they've uttered over the centuries, that is they, them, all together, as many beings in one body. With all this context in place, I hope I can answer your question in as direct a fashion as I am able. Yes, absolutely, Fanuit Hen cares deeply for the barons who move like this. After all, who does Fanuit care for more than himself?
Dear Madam Wim, it is said that the ash pit stretches even into Aetherius. Finally, Hen has said a prince's realm is an extension of their mind, nature, and will. Does that mean Malakath, and by extension the other princes, are capable of exerting their will and very being in the realm of Magnus and his children? See Enex.
I always know when the word Aetherius is scrawled on a piece of paper that a delicious bit of trade is sure to follow. I myself bargained several ancient Dwemer tonal scrolls all up and down the harmonic scale for the treatise written by one of my more scholarly Mazgin sisters. She had acted as an attendant to a particularly well-traveled mage who insisted on attempting to explore the length and breadth of Aetherius beyond Nirn and the Daedric realms. A fascinating read, but not information given freely, I'm afraid. What I can say to paraphrase from that lengthy tome is that in this case Fanuit spoke true. The prince is the realm, and the realm is the prince, and any notion of separating the two is a farce. You need to merely observe the ruin that is Fargrave to see what occurs when a Daedric power is removed from the ethereal equation. It is a rare event indeed, but it does happen. As for the other piece of your question, I'm not sure I or any other living being can truly claim to understand how the princes and the Aedra relate to one another. I have lived for many, many mortal lifetimes, my dear, and nothing I've bargained, purchased, or traded in all my years indicates that the Aedra are more than a lovely story you mortals tell yourselves to make you feel safer in your beds at night.
To the esteemed Madam Wim, statues of Malakath are seen wielding a longsword, which we have heard little about in comparison to his other weapons, such as Scourge or Valandrung. In ancient times, the warrior Trinomac was said to have wielded the sword Penitent, the blade of courage, before he was transformed into Malakath. What can you tell us of Malakath's grey sword, and if it has any relation to the ancient blade of Penitent? Thank you for your time. Sir Syandor F. of Sedanin.
Ah, yes. The tale of the courageous warrior god consumed by the vile Daedric prince only to return as a cruel prince of depraved people. Mortals, I find it fascinating that an eons-old being wholly divested from day-to-day experiences of Nirn, such as myself, might have perspective on this that scholars and priests apparently lack. One of the easiest bargains I ever made was for the soul of an orc monk seeking almost these exact same answers. He scoured the texts I'd delivered to him for a decade before I finally had to call in his marker and pass him along to his eventual fate. I could have told him everything he needed to know well before he cracked the seal on a single Malakath rite or flipped the pages of a first-era Trinomac prayer book. We Daedra are unlike you mortals in many, many ways, but that does not mean we are wholly unlike you either. That goes doubly so far as a Daedric prince. A backwater village bully might fall in with a bandit army so they can swagger around the inn on Freitas brandishing their shiny badge. A Daedric prince might go out of their way to avoid answering questions or quashing rumors, claiming they were once an all-around powerful Aedra, as above, so below. I know not why Malakath wields a sword and statues, Syandor of Sedanin, but I do know that the written histories of Nirn treat the Orsmer with a particular cruelty. And so I must ask myself a simple question. Which is more likely, that of an all-powerful Aedra found itself consumed by a Daedric prince and recast in the mold of a pale shadow of itself in a far-flung realm of oblivion, or that mortal scholars with a bias would eagerly leap on the metaphor that the Daedric prince almost associated with the orc people was quite literally the excreted remains of a once great god? The last question is unrelated to either Oathsworn Pit or the Maelstrom incident, but I felt this preposterous question deserved attention, if only for the titters of amusement it gave me.
Dear Madam Wim, I have it on good authority that one of your employees, a scamp named Micket, was murdered. This particular scamp had, apparently, the capacity to eventually amass so much knowledge as to rival that of Hermaeus Mora. Can a lesser Daedra eventually rival or even become a Daedric prince? Cardamore Indicius, researcher of the Iridian aspect of Magnus.
I will address the two ideas in your questions separately, researcher Indicius. Midget's death was not, I can assure you, because anyone believed that a scamp would grow to rival the one who knows in power. You should have heard the peals of laughter that echoed through my chambers when I first read this text. Further, I'm curious about how you came to such a conclusion. I encourage you to seek me out at the House of Whims. Perhaps we can draw a bargain to follow up on this curious claim. As for your thought-provoking follow-up notion, I will offer you a strongly conditional no. As far as I am aware, the raw power of a Daedric prince is unmatchable by even the mightiest Daedric lord or demi-prince. My no is conditional because, truthfully, I'm not sure it's out of the question. It certainly has never happened before, but strange things happen every day on Nirn and beyond that challenge what we all thought we knew the day before. To ground my question in something you might understand, mortal, consider a river. Its flow can ebb and shift. It can dry up or swell to furious size. If a great flood were to occur and a riverbed came to sit at the bottom of a great sea, is that still a river? Or is the river a sea? That will have to do for now. I think business calls. There are clients waiting to be attended to. So many intoxicating possibilities to explore. Perhaps one day we can do this again. Until then, darling mortals, I hope to see you at the House of Whims before too long.
That was
a fun one.
Yeah.
She's got some good lore in there. That was a big old lore dump. Lore dump.
Lore dump. It's funny that you call this a lore dump, and we literally had, the thing about Malakath being the excrement of the all-powerful god.
Yeah, that's a good time. It's a good time. Wow.
If we ever start doing like regular like lore lessons, and we get to that needs to be the title, the lore dump.
Lore dump. I love it.
That's how professional we are. We make poop jokes in our titles.
I mean, that is now currently a sound on our soundboard in Lore Seekers, so.
What, lore dump?
Yeah. It's literally me going, lore dump from the last Lore Seekers episode, and the other one that we have is, do you even lore, bro? We have that one, and I think the other one we have is, no.
Nice.
So, there you go. You can lore dump until your heart's content. Ew, I hate saying that way.
It is a little icky sounding.
My goodness. We did it!
We did. Is that everything?
That's it. There wasn't very much news this week. It was kind of a quiet week because we got a bunch of stuff last week. And also the DLC drops tomorrow. So I have a feeling that we'll get like a big, we always do our shows on Sunday and everything releases on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
we'll
I probably get information on stuff tomorrow once the DLC drops, and they'll put out community guides or something like that for it. They usually do.
I suppose we could start trying to do our show on Tuesdays, but
that would be very difficult for me.
I know. There's a reason we settled on Sundays, because it's the easiest day for us all.
This is true.
So we'll just be a little early, no big deal. And we start predicting the future, and then problem solved.
Hey, you never know.
Well, cool. Guild announcements. Hey, we're in a guild.
We sure are.
We would like to announce that to everyone who's listening or watching.
I bet they didn't know.
If you weren't aware, we are in a guild. The two of us and Gwen and our other host when he's available, Sasquatch. We're all in a guild. The same guild. But you don't have to be on the same platform because it's on all of them. We're in the Lore Seekers, in case you didn't guess that. But if you want to come be part of that guild, you can. All you have to do is head over to loreseekers.club. Follow the all the stuff you need is there. You'll need Discord. You'll need to fill out a brief application. Pretty quick process. It sends it over to us, and once it's approved, usually within 24 to 48 hours, you'll get an invite in game. Pretty simple. As for the things that we do in the guild, on PlayStation, which is where I am solely, and everybody else seems to be making a side gig. I don't know, but
Excuse me. Wow.
yeah, um, that's an ongoing thing. I'm not ever going to stop giving you a hard time. So,
Oh no, I got locked out.
oh,
Right at the end. Rip.
well. So if you want to come hang out with us and do guild things in on PlayStation, we have an event on Mondays. Mondays with Moki. Moki takes people around to go and do some fishing, or maybe get into Cyrodiil, or possibly other activities as well. Moki's done great getting people their fishing achievements, and just lots of fun, pretty laid back, casual kind of thing. So come hang out with Moki, 8 o'clock Eastern. I believe grouping starts at 7:30. Then we have Treacherous Tuesdays, which is Dungeon Day. It currently has no schedule, but that's the day that we encourage everyone to make an effort to get into some dungeons. You can group up. You can do lore runs, or you can do speed runs, or you can just farm gear over and over again. However you want to do it, just group up with some guildies and go run some dungeons. And we also have Fearless Friday with Arthuria Dragoon. That is the what we call the Undaunted.
Undaunted.
Daunted? We are undaunted?
Are undaunted.
Yeah. So Fearless Friday is all about getting in and doing pledges, or the delve dailies for the Undaunted. And yeah, same time as the Monday event, 8 o'clock Eastern, and group up around 7:30. So come hang out, run some stuff with us, and just have some fun. As for where you can find us, if you want to reach out to us, any ideas on that, Crazy? Do you have any crazy ideas?
I have some crazy ideas.
Tell us some crazy ideas.
They can find us on X, Twitter, whatever it is, at Snugpod Cast. You can also send us an email if you want to ask us a question, or give us feedback, or a review, or anything like that, at just snugpodcast@gmail.com. And then if you are here with us and you're watching us, maybe it's on twitch.tv/snugpodcast. But if it's not, you can find us there live when we do the shows, usually on Sunday evenings, around 11-ish Eastern. So yeah, you could head over there, or
That's
you
a
could
hard
search for
ish.
us. It is a hard ish. Or you could search for us over on YouTube and find us there. Yeah.
Yep. And did you mention audio?
Oh, no, I didn't.
So if I don't have time to sit in front of a screen and watch this,
Yeah,
do I have another option?
you do. You can find us on Spotify or Apple, or probably most of the podcatchers of choice at this point
Yeah.
as well.
Yep. Just search Snug Podcast and you should find us.
That's true.
Yep.
Our name's pretty unique.
It is indeed. Indeed. Awesome sauce. Well, that wraps us up for the week, and maybe we'll have a little bit more information, because when the... Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind. I was about to say when the stuff drops tomorrow, we'll have the... I'm drawing a blank, spell crafting.
No, we won't.
But
have
that's what
scribing.
comes in June, right?
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow
never mind.
is just
dungeons.
is just the dungeons,
Yep.
and then it was supposed to originally be like the unified repair kits. But real quick, just as a quick note, I actually forgot to put that in our notes. We will be getting the gear repair kits that are unified, but they have removed all of the Cyrodiil repair kits because they found a really bad bug within that. So the repair kits for Cyrodiil that were supposed to be all unified as well are no longer going to be in the patch that's coming out for 41, I believe.
Is
So
that something that they're still working on, or they just
they
ditched the
said that, nope, they said they pulled it from this update. So it will roll out at a later time. Here, let me read it real quick. I got it for you. Hold on. Hold, please. I will read the exact verbiage from the forums. It says, "Hi everyone, we wanted to give you a heads up that we recently ran across a critical issue involving the unified Cyrodiil repair kits and need to pull them from the Update 41 launch build. We know many of you are excited for this feature and we're doing everything we can to release them as soon as possible. We'll keep you posted when we have a planned release date for the unified Cyrodiil repair kits. Please note this does not affect the unified gear repair kits, which will be launching with Update 41 as planned." So yeah, if you were hoping that your inventory was going to clear out tomorrow, not fully. So yeah. As far as I know, I think the stackable siege is still coming. But yeah. So
All right.
there you go.
There you have it. Okay, cool. Well, we maybe, if nothing else, will have some feedback from other community members on their experience with the dungeons. Some have already gotten to do them with PTS, but this will be bigger audience being official release. So perhaps we'll have a little more insight into what people think about the new dungeons, and what
Yeah.
what people are feeling about the storyline going forward and things like that. So,
And real quick about that, this is a great reminder too. I remember that like some people are really sensitive to spoilers. So if you do drop anything in Discord or you put anything on social media, if you can, try and give a spoiler warning, or at least, you can spoiler tag it in Discord. That way, if people don't want to see it, they don't have to accidentally see it. So be
yeah.
kind, help out a friend, especially because the release dates for console and PC are very different. We always have to wait a couple weeks, and it can be hard to avoid spoilers with storylines and stuff. So just be kind and remember all around that it may take people on all of the platforms a little bit of time to be able to play that stuff.
Yep, indeed. All right. Well, that is a wrap for this week.
It is.
So hopefully we'll be able to get back next week around the same ish time, and we'll do this again. So until then, take care of yourself, take care of others, be a decent person, and we will catch you next time.
Sleep well, Tamriel. I got it right this week. Did you see that? Got it right.
Good job.
I didn't say the wrong thing.
Good job. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all. Bye.